Welcome to Dad Tech, where we talk tech, toys, and gear for geek-centric dads. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I grabbed a couple of these Apple HomePods along with an Apple 4K TV, and we're going to go check out whether or not it makes sense as a soundbar or home theater replacement for small to mid-sized rooms. Now, when you have these bad boys set up as a stereo pair with Apple 4K TV and some Dolby Atmos content, you can actually output Dolby Atmos through these speakers. In theory, that sounds great. So we'll go set it up in my home theater to check out whether or not it stands up against a full-blown separate component type system. Let's go. All right, we just set up the HomePods 6 feet apart as recommended by Apple. I'm now going to set up the Apple TV, which is going to go there. Okay, so I just hooked up the Apple TV to the power and to one of the open HDMI ports. Let's turn on and check this out. It sounds pretty good. I mean, there's not a lot of center.
900 yards, sir.
I don't feel the center, but there's definitely a lot of positional audio. So for 2 speakers, it's pretty good. So welcome back after a full day of testing and setup and comparison with the Apple HomePods against my full-blown Klipsch reference system. And I gotta say, first and foremost, from a form factor and a footprint standpoint, the HomePods are extremely hard to beat. I mean, something coming in at this size with a minuscule Apple 4K TV is just phenomenal. Especially if you live in, let's say, a tiny New York City apartment that's like 500 square feet, or anywhere for that matter, that's extremely small, or you have no place to like add home theater componentry. It's difficult to beat this, right? I mean, just the sheer footprint, if you put them together, it's probably less than 1.5 feet. You can stick these on a bookshelf, put them anywhere. You'll have stereo sound for when you're playing music, and you'll have Dolby Atmos when you're running it through your Apple 4K TV. Secondly, from a setup perspective, if you're already deeply steeped in the Apple ecosystem, you have MacBooks, you have iPhones, you have iPads, what have you, again, this makes perfect sense, right? Very easy to set up. Your iPhone, your iPad immediately sees this upon, walking up close to it, and it connects. My only quibble though is that it wasn't as intuitive to actually connect them together as a pair and then connect them to the Apple 4K as the Dolby Atmos speakers. That's odd. Maybe it's me, I'm not an Apple fanboy, so maybe I don't know how to navigate the systems, but I felt like that was the least intuitive part of this entire process, which boggled my mind considering how easy they were to get set up and put on and added to your system. All right, let's get to sound. So first off, I want to caveat this by saying that I thought this was an unfair fight, and the HomePods here were definitely below its weight class going up against my juggernaut of a home theater system, but it is a good way to kind of gauge what $600 nowadays can get you relative to like a $5,000, $6,000 system. That's a reference system. Everything was kind of measured out. I'm an engineer, so I measured everything out in terms of sound fidelity, delineation inside this room, specific for this room. These are just HomePods that you sit there, and it doesn't even have, the type of sound calibration system that like a Sonos or anything of that would have. Apple claims that it does do that type of calibration on its own, but there wasn't one that you could kind of like actively engage. So all of that being said, I placed these, as you saw, on either side of the 86-inch television. Meanwhile, all of my reference speakers are kind of like arrayed around the room relative to where you're sitting inside of the couch. By and large, this did not do a bad job for $600. Against like a $5,000, $6,000 system, I'm not gonna say it was anywhere close, but am I gonna say it's, 10 times worse than that system? Probably not, right? I mean, the delineation and the separation from a full home theater component system like I have, you're gonna get all the nuance of the individual channels, the object-based movement, but you kind of got the same thing here with the HomePods. Now, things weren't flying in from behind you. I don't have a full Atmos where I have upward firing speakers, so my system wasn't doing that either, but this wasn't either. But to be fair, you were getting a great soundscape, you were getting movement across the screen left to right, right to left, zooming close, sound dispersing far away. For a system that's $600 and eats up the footprint or lack thereof, it's very difficult to beat. The technology is getting so good, and especially with Apple being at the forefront of these speakers, that you can replicate some of what a $5,000, $6,000 speaker system can do, considering it's $600, right? It's effectively 10 times less than what my system is. You're not gonna get like, you know, the type of resonance and the type of tonality that you would get from an individualized system with a full-blown amplifier receiver setup. But for the form factor and the fact that you can just plop these down, have them connect within 15 seconds of each other, it's very hard to beat. That home theater setup took a full day and a half to get installed. I had to run wires, I had to calibrate. So to be able to plop these down and be able to get an approximation of the sound that my $5,000, $6,000 home theater setup can do is a marvel of where we're at now with speaker technology. Kudos to Apple for being able to do that. If you've never heard a $5,000 home theater system and you just bought a couple of these and plopped it down in front of your television, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you point blank period, right? I could foresee many people foregoing a full home theater setup and going with this instead. So me personally, if I had it to do all over again, would I go through this hassle? I mean, I'm a tech nerd and a tech geek, so maybe yeah, but anybody else on the market, 95% of humans in the world, you put this in front of your television and you turn on the new Zack Snyder Justice League, it's gonna blow you away, right? It's gonna blow you away. Am I gonna say that it's, you know, the same as a Sonos Arc? Sonos Arc probably has a little bit more in terms of tonality, musicality, things of that nature. But again, you need to have an eARC connection in order to connect that Sonos Arc. This, because everything runs through the Apple 4K, you can have the oldest television on the planet and still be able to get Dolby Atmos sound because the Apple 4K TV is decoding it and sending it to these HomePods. That's a huge leg up on most of the other soundbars that we've reviewed on this channel, and most of the soundbars anywhere, to be totally frank. A lot of the object-based systems that are out there require you to run eARC, right? We've talked about that endless times on this channel. You don't have to do that with this. To me, that is a huge barrier that's just been torn down by Apple. And I think, to be totally honest, they've been marketing these wrong. They've been marketing these as commoditized, like smart speakers, when in reality, they should pit this against some of the soundbars that are in the market. They should have switched our marketing campaign and said, you want an off-the-hook home theater system and you don't have to figure out whether or not your TV has the right HDMI connection and you still want to be able to get Dolby Atmos, get some of these bad boys. Call it a day. Personally, this makes sense if you're trying to go out and not have like a, you know, an ugly sound bar, so to speak, kind of plopped in front of your television. You can kind of discreetly tuck these away into your bookshelves. I enjoyed them. I don't have a place to put them. I'm kind of all home theatered out at this point. I might just use them as speakers in the garage, potentially, I'm not sure, but, or give it away. I might do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Let's help me get to 1,000 subscribers. If you subscribe, like, and comment, I will put you in a drawing to get one of the, or both of these. You know what? You're gonna get both of these. You're gonna get both of these and you can have it before, actually they discontinued them already. So before it runs out of Best Buy or Apple, if you subscribe to the channel, like, comment down below, I will put you in a drawing and you can have a shot at one of these things. So that's all I have for today. I know this is slightly different from our normal, you know, very well researched thing, but I just wanted to kind of try this format. Let me know if you like it. I appreciate you guys and I will check you next time. Peace.